Hello everybody. This is my first video about my fixing my alternator of my E36 M3. This is 1987, pretty old car. But I really love it. It drives so great. The problem I got from this car is one day I just got the right battery light on my dashboard. So I think everybody can Google that. That either means the battery is bad or the alternator is bad. Basically or generally, I would say that's two causes of this that light. But I think my battery is good because I just replaced the battery earlier this year, and I tested the battery. Everything is good. So I think that's the battery. That's the alternator. So I did some research. I see, the battery, the alternator price is pretty expensive for E36 M3, and it's about 300. If I buy a decent one, it's about like $300 or $400, and you can buy a cheaper one in AutoZone for about $200. So from my experience before, I once replaced alternator in my Volkswagen, and I know there's for the alternator itself is not that easy to be broken. So most of the time it's the voltage regulator of the in the alternator. So I bought regulator and I replaced that, and great, the red light has gone. However, the alternator just isn't charging the battery. So later I think, that's bad. So finally, I think maybe that's alternator issue. So I did some research on eBay. I don't want to pay $300 or $400 to replace to have a new alternator. And why I made that decision to search for a cheaper one and use one in eBay is that because I think, E36 M3, I don't think anybody will, at least me or someone like me who is not old driver, will not use this car as a daily driver, right? So just use a car for fun. So which means you don't have a lot of time driving this car. So I think anyway, I just if I buy a cheaper one that may be broken, maybe burn down, like 2 years, 3 years, I think that's okay. Because I drive this not that much of this car. So if the normal time for the lifespan left to the alternator is 2 or 3 years, that maybe means like 4 or 5 years to me. And maybe just in 2 or 3 years, I will sell this car. Finally, I bought an alternator on eBay, also from E36, for only $80, including the shipping and tax. So I replaced the alternator. So here is my old my own alternator, which is also aftermarket one. You can see it's a pretty new actually. So it's a really shame that it does not work that well. From what I see, it's just selected maybe 2 or 3 years, because I bought this car earlier this year. So it's really a shame. Sorry about this brand. Everybody knows this brand. Normally it's a pretty reliable, but this time I don't know. Although I replaced the regulator, it does not work. So after I replaced the this one alternator from eBay, everything works. I use multimeter to test the voltage. Great. When the car starts, the voltage goes to like a 14.5, and which is a great voltage for when you start the car, and which means the battery is being charged by the alternator. That's great. So also I doing this video because I really want to show you the easier way to replace this alternator. before I replaced the alternator, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube to see how other people do that. And I have to say that they make it a much more difficult from my point. So let me just tell you how easy that is. You don't actually need to remove this. You don't actually need to move the air filter. Everything stays here. I didn't touch anything, right? Oh, I have to say because this is my second time doing this, so I have the experience now. For the first time, I just followed what we do, spend really a lot of time. But this time I did it quite easy. Don't touch this, don't touch this, don't touch this. Only thing is that you remove this cover, really stupid plastic cover, which it maybe just cost you 1 minute. And then you can do other things like move the bolt, the upper bolt, the lower bolt, and before that you also have to move the tensioner. The tensioner is a big thing. So at first I didn't buy any specific tool to move the tensioner a little bit, because when you get a belt, you have to move the tensioner clockwise. And at first I just use my regular tool. It's a T50 thing, T51, and just got very small space there. So later I borrowed one tool from my friend, and later I just decided to buy one for me to keep it. So this one. So this is called what the specific name for this? I will maybe put in the comment section. And because this is very thin, you can just put it there. That's much easier. Yeah, very easy to move to tensioner, and then you took the belt off, and you remove the upper bolt and lower bolt. And also there are like two electronic sight on that side. It's a bolt, I think millimeter 13 and 10. That's pretty easy. Just don't break the cable. Just be careful about it. And then you can just wiggle a little bit and take that off. That's pretty easy. Just don't assume this is such a small space that you cannot take that out. It's quite easy. When you take it off, that's it. And you have the new alternator or used alternator and put it back. And first you connect the wire 13, 10, and then you put back the bolts, the really long bolts. The really long bolts here, the upper bolts and the lower bolts. One thing is very important. I see people who post this video just mentioned a little bit, but that's pretty important. For the lower bolts, that's really hard to put it back in. I don't know the reason. I don't know. I just don't know. I saw somebody say they use the hammer to hammer it several times, and then lower bolts get in, and then you can just use a regular wrench to finish the work. But they have to like move radiator and also the fan to make more, you have more space to use the hammer to put it back in. That requires a lot of work, because you have to move all this. And for the first time when I replaced all the alternator, I found that that's really difficult. But second time, I figured that out. You just use the the great thing, WD-40, and to put on the lower bolt, and then you just to put it back in. It goes in quite easily. So maybe just take your like 10 seconds. So always trust the WD-40. That's a great. So when I put it back in for this time, and I made some tests. I tested the voltage of the battery. Great, now it works. So I only bought this for like $70, and shipping and also tax it cost me $10 and another $10. That's it. So I have to say, sorry, you must be like $300 or $400. Piece of shit. So always trust the OEM M1, the factory one. That's great. So now, because I already know the voltage of the car is not good, but I still need to run the car for maybe like half hour and with the headlights on to see if everything is really 100% okay. Okay, so that's my first video. And any other things oh, maybe next time I can tell you guys how to fix the shock mount of this car on the rear side. The noise is really noisy. It's really annoying. So, oh, also I fixed the hood cable of this car. that cost me about 1 month to do that. And later I figured out that's really simple. And I will shoot the video later for that. So thank you. Enjoy your project.